I'm learning that you simply cannot walk around and talk on basic, data. So I'm gonna give this another shot and see if anybody shows up. But I'm stopped from my walking. I'm under some shade. So I'm kind of on my walking break. Drinking a lot of water, drinking a lot of electrolytes. Had one coffee already. But drinking coffee and sweating and walking in the Philippines, you really dehydrate yourself rather quickly. So I'm going to see who shows up, and hopefully, like I said, I just need to stay in one spot. Anybody, you show up, say hello, let me know if the audio or the video is all right. But yeah, I simply got to stay in one spot. But yeah, just walking around. There's a port over there. But anybody that doesn't know me, my name's Michael. I'm from the United States, and I'm here in Dumaguete, Philippines. And yeah, taking a walking break. So again, anybody there, say hello. Let me know the audio, the video is all right. And if I see some people that I maybe didn't wake them up, I think now in the United States, being with daylight savings, I think they went back an hour. So like Pennsylvania, even though it's 1 p.m. here, I think Pennsylvania would be midnight, one hour behind. Hey, Darren Bartholomew. Hey there from Australia. Cool. See, this is what I love. I like when people introduce themselves, and I also love when they say where they're from, because that's like kind of neat. You kind of, yeah, you get people from all over the place. And my name's Michael, Darren. Thank you for being here, much appreciated. Hopefully we get some other people in here. Like I said, I randomly do live streams. I'm here in Dumaguete, Philippines, Negros Oriental. Darren, you say, yeah, all good with the video. Awesome. Yeah, I try to, with data here, it's hit or miss. Sometimes I'm able to walk because I walk a lot, and then I can do a live stream, but that's just asking for trouble. It ends up lagging in the signal. I need to, at some point, and I think I would definitely benefit from it because I like to walk and talk. I need Starlink, so then I can move around and like show you guys. I can get up from certain spots, but I'm kind of under the shade because if I go to sit down, like I'll show you, if I go to sit down on, like that's the port over there, but if I go to sit down on these walls that are in the sun, like your butt will cook like an egg. I mean, it's comfortable to sit, but the heat, your butt's on fire. So Darren, thank you for keeping the comments going and the live stream going. I appreciate it. Darren, how's the area after the typhoon? Good question. Actually, here in Dumaguete, it was basically nothing major. I think everybody kind of prepared for the worst. Now, some people north of here, on the other half, northern part of the island, which would be Negros Occidental, Bacolod, obviously Cebu, they got hit pretty bad. Here in Dumaguete, it was nothing more than rain, a little bit of wind, but quite honestly, it wasn't much. And what was it? Today's Thursday, so yesterday was sunny. Tuesday, basically the last day, was like misty, no wind, kind of calm, no issues whatsoever. None. It was like a blessing that, everything turned out very good, and yeah, no issues whatsoever. Now, like I said, other people, Cebu got hit pretty bad. I mean, I'm sure if you haven't seen videos, it's a mess. You'd see cars floating down the street. But yeah, I'm just sitting right along here at the boulevard. Lots of traffic behind me. Perfect for anybody who's interested in people watching. But yeah, most people, if you're here, you're under the trees and under the shade for now. I walk in the sun. I just don't like sitting, as I explained earlier. If you sit on the wall like I'm sitting on here now and it's in the sun, you could probably fry an egg on it, or darn close to it. So yeah, Darren, appreciate the question. Again, appreciate you being here. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with your name or not, but Darren Bartholomew, once I get you in my brain, I do my best to remember people, because I look at you guys as my friend Ray or anybody else that's in the stream, and we look at you guys more as friends, not subscribers, although you subscribe and obviously helps build the channel, and it's much appreciated. So as always, give a thumbs up for a like if you want, if you like it. Maybe you don't like the video. And if you're not a subscriber, I'd greatly appreciate it. But and I'm open to any questions, sharing my experiences here in the Philippines. I'm still rather a newbie, but I'm pushing about a year total in the Philippines. I did go home to the USA once. But thank you, Darren. Det Valones is here. Hello, Det. Hey, Michael. Kumusta? Busy street there. I miss the tricycles. You do miss the tricycles. Tricycles. You know what, Det? I miss the tricycles here in Dumaguete as well. When I was living in Bacolod, they have these real small ones. And the side, like, you know, here, as you can see, or somewhere, the tricycles, the buggy that's connected to the motorbike, like here, they're so much bigger. You can fit like 4 people comfortably, unless you're a very large individual, maybe not so much, but you can fit like 4 in the car, in the buggy part, and you can fit like 2 on the back seat of the motorbike. In Bacolod, it's like a baby stroller almost connected to the bike. Very, very tiny. I rode in it once, thinking me and my Filipina Che could fit, and not so well. I did it twice, and then after that, I was like, there's not even much to protect those tricycle buggies things in Bacolod. But here, yeah, it's much better. But thank you, Det, for being here. As always, appreciate you guys. Anybody who gives their time to me is a blessing. I'm just taking a break from walking. I do a lot of walking every day. I love walking. It's great exercise. I feel great. Like being in the sunshine, like just seeing the ocean when you're walking every day. And again, I'll give you guys a glimpse. Like, this is what I see, you know, the port over there. And if you would take a fast boat, you could go right over there to Siquijor, which is a beautiful island. But yeah, I'm just kind of hiding under this tree to keep my butt cool. Filipina college girl, Eric. Hello, Po. Hey, Filipina college girl. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. If you have any comments or questions, obviously you're from the Philippines, feel free to ask me. Again, anybody that doesn't know me, my name's Michael. I'm from the United States, and I'm here in the Philippines exploring and experiencing new things. I've never been here before up until started this journey in July of 2024, and I love it here. So appreciate it. Thank you, Filipina. If you're not subscribed, Filipina college girl, I would appreciate if you subscribe. And as always, I like likes. It helps my channel grow. But don't like anything you don't like. I always tell people that, you know, everybody always says like. Well, what if you don't like something? Darren says, I found your channel from James and Karen show. Yeah, James and Karen, great, awesome. James and Karen Adventures. Always enjoy giving them a shout out. Love their channel, love their genuality, love that they're in like a province, built their own home, very adventurous, outdoors kind of life, very educational too. They're not, you know, James and Karen are both very smart, have a lot to offer. James obviously, and yeah, and their community on his channel is awesome. I'm trying to, maybe someday I'll get to that point, but I like everybody in the community on James and Karen's channel. They're very friendly. Everybody gets along, says hello. I love that. Chona Adventure Vlog. I know Chona Adventure Vlog. I met her, subscribed to her previously. And if you're not a subscriber of Chona, check out Chona. She's a local girl, Filipina, and I met her not that long ago. So thank you, Chona, for being here. Always a blessing to have people just join my random lives. Maybe someday I'll have more of a consistent time, but I needed a break from walking, so I figured why not? See what happens. GW Yashas, yes, hello, how are you? I remember you. Thank you for being here. I don't know, it's been a while. I went live last night with my girlfriend here. We had fun. But Chona says hello, something simple. Chona says hi. Chona with waving emoji. Darren said, I just subscribed to your channel on Monday. Well, thank you, Darren. Again, I just want to share my journey and inspire other people, let people know why I chose and decided to come to the Philippines. That's why, you know. So thank you, Darren, for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it. It takes people like you, you know. I mean, it's as is any channel, you know. And I'm just a genuine guy from America, living my life, not wanting to be that. I don't want to be that person someday sitting in my end days saying, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that, and have regrets, you know. And obviously my decision to come here to the Philippines changed all that. So I won't be one of those guys. I'm not one of those guys. I'm here. And as always, everybody, thank you for being here. Yeah, GW, remember, I'm back from the hospital. Yes, I remember. You know what? There's another friend, a subscriber, David. He was in the hospital too. Kind of like had a freak incident that happened. He just recently got out. I think last I remember David was in California, but he's going to be on his way to the Philippines. So yeah, it's exciting when you hear about people, and I think it's the first time David's ever been here, but it's always extra exciting to hear about people that come to the Philippines for the first time. And it really would be cool if we actually met a lot of these people, which I do. You have opportunities to meet a lot of these people. Chona, the hand emoji. Chona says, thanks for visiting my stream last days. Of course, I try my best to visit and support other people's channels, especially that support mine. And as you know, Chona, it can get difficult. And even if it's just to simply say hello, that's good enough for me. I know most people are busy with their own channel, so it's hard. It's hard to, you got your own channel, your own editing, your own videos, which I still have a video I gotta edit yet. So anybody look for that soon. Once I take another coffee break, my second coffee break, I only do twice because they're double espressos. And I try not to drink coffee too late because then it kind of disrupts my sleep. And usually caffeine, I've learned, I guess everybody's different, but for me, I gotta, 8 hours prior to I'm going to sleep, I gotta drink my last coffee or I just wake up a lot in my sleep. But no problem, Chona. Darren says, my girlfriend is from Leyte area and she lost the roof of the house, oh boy, and a lot of damage with power lines, but she fixing her roof today and it's amazing the tradies get in and get it done. Yeah, that is amazing. And again, I'm sorry if you've ever heard, anybody's ever heard me say this before. My number one thing that I love about the Philippines, aside from my girlfriend, is the people. People are always first. And then at secondary would be, I like the warm weather. I like the idea of an island. I obviously like being able to see the ocean. And I'll take warm weather all year round versus, I was a seasonal guy, grew up in Pennsylvania, and obviously 4 seasons. Winter was always the longest. I think as I got older, the only time I liked snow was on Christmas Day. That's about it. Now it's like, and my favorite time of the year was summertime, which I think is a lot of people. That's because we get out, you get exposure to the sunshine. You're happier, you get energy from the sun. We're like batteries, almost like the Matrix movie. We're batteries and we need to get recharged from something. And one of the main things to get recharged from is sunlight. Um, but yeah, Darren, you're right. They come together and they get it done here. And like I said, I'm blessed and fortunate that we didn't have anything. As James would say on James and Karen's channel, he basically thought the typhoon weather where he lives was basically a nothing burger, and I agree. It was basically the same thing here. Chona says, just dropping by my hose, bye for now. Hey, Chona, thank you, appreciate it. Even if it's just a little bit to say hello. I try to do the same thing, I frequent more channels than others, I'll be honest, but then, like I said, I popped into yours, listened to you for a while. There's so many, I can't even remember all of them. But I always when I get a notification and I'm able to be present in someone's live, I at least say hello, even if it's only for a minute. And that's better than nothing. That's actually great if people just say hello. And even people that I don't know, say hello, say where you're from. And if you like what you see, give me a like, subscribe, and hopefully what I share you enjoy. But thank you, Chona. Darren says, I love the life in the Philippines. It's friendly and happy people, have a great personality. The rest of the world should take notice. I agree. I mean, when I went back to the United States in March, Darren, of this year, because I came to the Philippines in July of 2024. I was only supposed to originally stay for 2 months. I extended, because I was able to. I was fortunate, blessed, had some savings, But honestly, if I would only have stayed for 2 months, I don't know if 2 months would have been long enough for me to truly get an idea of if I really wanted to live here. Like the first 2 months I was in the Philippines was more or less like a vacation, living in a hotel. And then after that, when I decided to extend my stay, I'm like, okay, I need to get smart, save money. Don't think with the USD mindset, just because some things are less expensive here, you just kind of just throwing the money down. I learned that that's not smart. What's smart is saving money, no matter where you are in the world. So then I got an apartment, which is a lot less than a hotel. Although nice hotels are much more inexpensive to the United States. That's all I can compare it to. But you can't think like that. In the beginning I was like that. I was just like, oh wow, this is no big deal. I'll buy this. It would cost 3 times as much in the US. Well, I've gotten away from that. My Filipina and other people have taught me, Michael, you kind of need to adopt the Philippine mindset, pesos, when you're buying stuff. And it's right. So I'm in a hotel again because I moved from Bacolod back to Dumaguete. Waiting on an apartment, hopefully next week. That's the plan. But I also understand sometimes things can move a little slower here. But fingers crossed, prayers. Hopefully I get my apartment soon and I can share that with everybody because I think it's awesome. Studio, inexpensive, and right exactly where I want it, like a home base. And then you don't put a lot of money into your apartment here, and then when you travel out, you don't feel so bad that you have an apartment that you're paying for, like here in Dumaguete for me, and then spending money somewhere else. So yeah, making sure there's no ants on my butt, because I maybe felt something. But I'm gonna sit back down, keep this going as long as people show up. And always, I thank everybody. IAS, A-I-A-S. I hope I'm saying your name right, but greetings from Dubai. Hey, thank you for being here, IAS. You seem new to me. Again, if you like what you see, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. But thank you for being here. Any questions, anything you want to add to the live stream, feel free. GW says, without my coffee, 60 minutes feels like an hour. Yeah, and I was saying that this morning when I was on James and Karen's live stream, if you're familiar. Someone said that was familiar with me. They're like, Michael, did you have your first coffee yet? I'm like, no. And I can just tell, like, you get to a point where me with my first double espresso coffee, it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the day. I wouldn't say I'm addicted to coffee. I enjoy it. Coffee prepared right has some health nutritional benefits. I'm not like a whole pot of coffee drinker. Just give me that first one, that first sip, and I'm good to go. And then I usually don't go more than two double espressos. That's good for me for the day. I'll go, like I said, it disrupts my sleep too much. Hey, Jap 1967, man, I'm so thankful. You know what's so cool, everybody, about Jap 1967, the subscriber? I just became acquainted with him the other day. He subscribed to my channel, then he was on my live stream last night showing support, and I just love when people, I mean, you don't have to do that, but I appreciate that you basically so quickly supported my channel, Jap, and I know you probably told me, maybe you didn't tell me your name, and I apologize if you don't prefer to be called Jap, that I like that name, Jap 1967. But yeah, hi Michael, vitamin D from the sun, we need it. Yep, we do need it in moderation, but you need a certain amount of direct sunlight daily to get the adequate amount of vitamin D you need. I'm a real health nut. What I put in my body is very important to me. What I put on my body is more important to me. It was a whole other discussion that we could have if anybody's ever interested in me sharing what I know in regards to things that you put in your body and things that you put on your body. I'm not talking clothes, I'm talking deodorant, I'm talking all natural deodorant, sunscreen, yada, yada, yada. So if that's something that interests people, we can talk about that, share what we know. Bellish Traveler, foreign once. Hey, from Leyte, we got hit hard, still brown out. At least we not in New York, love God in the Philippines, 5 years. God bless you, Bellish Traveler, foreign once. Thank you for being here. Yeah, you got hit hard, Bacolod got hit hard. Basically, it just seems like anybody north. I did see some flooding in Chase province, which is north of Dumaguete, like by bus, 3.5 hours. She's from Mabato, Ayungin, in the province is her home. Her father sent her some video footage from her province, and I watched it. And it was almost more like, it was flooding, but it was like, looked like mudslides more than anything to me. It was like a lot of muddy water. I think everything, I don't know how bad the wind was. Like Che, my girlfriend, didn't mention anything as far as wind causing any damage to their home. But like I said, when anybody, you see cars floating down the street, you see damaged houses, that's all unfortunate. But I always try to focus on the most important thing is to, that nobody gets hurt and the safety of people. Because you can replace all that other stuff. You can't replace your loved ones and people, so that's kind of my focus. So again, I was so blessed and fortunate down here. Simply not much. I mean, more or less it reminded me of like a little bit of a minor tropical storm here in Dumaguete, but thank God it wasn't worse. Darren says, I'm 59 and I retire next year and I'm thinking about moving to the Philippines with my girl. Just wondering what you think about living permanently. My opinion, and it might, Darren, and it might come up, I'm biased now. I love it here. I can go over the obvious reasons why I live here. The most common things that people might say why they live here. But I'm a warm weather guy. Simple as that. So weather. Obviously, I've mentioned already, I love the people here. They're so nice. My new motto that I always just say to people, having less is having more. And that's what I learned. Having less is having more here. I've let go of materialistic things being here in the Philippines. And obviously, as far as living costs, rentals and stuff, much, much cheaper than what I would pay in the United States. I don't know how things, Darren, are in Australia, but you also can be happy here and get more bang for your buck, if you've ever heard that term used before. And but those are like obvious things, but yeah, I just turned 55 in April, Darren, and I'll be honest with you, if I was still living in the US, people, you know, I'm from Pennsylvania, lived in Florida previously for like 2 years, and then went back to Pennsylvania. But if I was currently in the United States right now, I'd be living in Florida, but guess what? I'd still be working. I couldn't afford to retire, and right now I'm living on my pension and some savings. That's it, you know, and any blessings that I may get from YouTube. That's it, you know. But my initial reason for doing YouTube was not like from a monetary perspective. I just was so excited because other YouTubers motivated me before I came here. And I'm like, man, it'd be so cool if I could motivate other people to come to the Philippines as well and share my experiences and share my emotions and excitement. Whatever happens with my channel, great. Again, my inspirations and stuff don't get out unless I have people that watch or are interested. But being here in the Philippines fires me up. Every day I wake up happy. And I know it's only been a year. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's possible you could get tired of something, but I don't, because simply just in the Philippines, which I didn't know prior to coming here, there's over 7,000 islands. Granted, I probably wouldn't live long enough to ever visit all 7,000 islands, but only in the Philippines alone, there's so much to do. And if, again, I sound redundant, repeat myself, but if you're an outdoor person, you like, you like the warm weather, you like tropical stuff, and you like nature, and you want to see waterfalls, or those are the things that fire me up. Nature, waterfalls. Heck, if you haven't ever seen my video that I did a waterfall hike when I was up in Bacolod, I did a short too. Basically, long story short, I did a video. I loved it. It was so much fun. But I was able to do a live stream there down in between the mountains at this waterfall, and I couldn't even believe I got a signal off of basic data like what I'm on now. So right in that moment, I was so fired up, and my emotions just poured out of me like crazy when I was at this waterfall, because the hike was not easy. You have to be this particular hike. It was called Pulong Two Big Falls. Two big means water, but the hike, I mean, you're climbing on rocks. It was not like this clear man-made path, but it was awesome. Watch that short if you haven't watched it on my channel. If that doesn't fire you up about nature, I don't know what else would, but I was fired up and I liked it. It was me in the heat of the moment. But I hope, Darren, I hope you come here. If you ever want to know other reasons why, other than the obvious, I mean, it comes down to what matters to you most, Darren. That's really what it is. I've never met anybody that's come here and hated it. Maybe because they came here and left so quick, I never got to meet them, so I didn't get to hear their opinion. But I love it here. I don't know how else to put it. I'm glad I made the decision I did, because it was the best one I ever made. GW Yasha says, just give me my money, just give me my coffee. Yeah, I love coffee. I love it. Japs 1967 says, my name's John Michael John Arthur Platt. Wow. Jap, my initials, watching from Gentrias Cabite from UK originally. That's a cool name. At least you have Michael in your name. There's a lot of Michaels. A lot of Michaels here in the Philippines. I always tell people, because I'll never forget this, when I became a certain age when I was a young child, my mother said to me, Michael, do you want to know why I named you Michael? And I said, why did you name me Michael, Mom? And she said, I named you after Saint Michael the Archangel. Never forget that. And then when I was old enough to understand, other than the fact he was an angel, and you learn about Saint Michael the Archangel, that'll just always be instilled me forever. And it's kind of why I wear this, Saint Michael the Archangel. But I always tell people that I love sharing this, and that's why my mother named me Michael. Hello, Ben. Ben is here. Hey, Michael, Mayung Hapon, good afternoon. See, you're between you and Che, that's how I'm going to learn all my Visaya. I don't even know if I was pronouncing it right, but Mayung Hapon, good afternoon. Bellish Traveler 4-1 says new sub. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Bellish Traveler 4-1. God love you. Thank you very much. I'm humbled by anybody that subscribes to my channel, because I'm just Michael. I'm nobody special. I'm just an expat foreigner from the United States, sharing my experiences. And awesome that you guys come here. So thank you, Bellis. But Ben, how are things going in Cebu? How are things cleaning up? Yeah, Ben here, he's from Cebu, from the United States, but he's currently in Cebu. I don't know if you've been here about a month or so, Ben, or more. Losing track of time. But Bellis, thank you for subbing. That means the world to me. Bill Meyer, good afternoon, prayers for all. Hey, Bill, I'm familiar with Bill. Thank you for being here, Bill. What's new? Anything going on? Anything you want to share or talk about? Like I said, I'm just taking a brief break from walking and sitting under the shade at the boulevard, and I'll give everybody a glimpse if anybody wants to see where I'm at. That's Sikihor Island over there, the port's over there, and Cebu's on the other side. But I'm just sitting here along the boulevard street, hanging out, being smart under the shade. But mainly that has to do with because I don't want my butt to cook, because it's hot. If you're gonna sit on that wall, which I could in the sun, but I need a towel, my butt would be on fire. But thank you for being here, Bill. Det Balone says, and excuse me if I butcher this, but I'm from Desma Kavit at Jap. Yeah, that's a familiar friend / subscriber, and I'm glad you're here. Jap says, hi, Det. And then Jap says, close to me, Das Marinas. Again, sorry if I butcher. GW says, hi, Det. See, I love when people say hello. That's like the best part. Det says, hello, guys. Darren says, I love the sun and the heat as the temperature. Where I live in Australia, the averages is 40 Celsius. Now, Darren, can you educate me a little bit? Because I'm still stuck on Fahrenheit. What is 40? Like, I'd say right now, I can't look. It's definitely in the 80s. I don't know if it's 90 here, but I do need to get like kilometers. I'm still a little behind on that. I still use miles. Det Valone says, yes, it's close as far as him and Jap. Bella says, bro, 56 tomorrow. Forced to retire Freeport Gold and Copper, 28-year miner. Damn, we're truly blessed. God will, brother, God's will. Man, that's awesome, Dallas. And then happy birthday on your birthday tomorrow. Yeah, like I tell people, I just turned 55 in April, and blessed that I had a pension from my job that I could obviously start taking from my pension at 55. Only slightly less than what it would have been had I waited, I don't know, 58, 60. Just wasn't that big of a difference. And once I realized I could live here on a certain amount of money, I was like, I'm coming. I was done with the grind in the United States. I'm blessed that I have my health. I want to be able to do things and I don't want to plan my future going, okay, I retire at a much older age. I don't know what my health's going to be. Granted, my health's great because I exercise a lot, I eat well and all this, but crazy things happen. I don't know what the future is going to be. And for me, living in the United States is working in a grind, and then you work and work and work. Well, what if I get some sort of freaky injury when you get older? Hey, let's face it, when you get older, injuries happen easier, but staying in shape and exercising can still prevent them. The problem is when you get an injury when you're older, they don't heal like they did when you were younger. It takes longer. So then you got to baby that injury much longer. I don't want to, and then, you know, if it's an upper body injury, if you're doing upper body, if it's a lower body injury, then you can't do these certain exercises and you're older. So you put yourself behind because it takes longer to heal. Whereas when you're younger, you heal quicker, and you're in your 20s or whatever, and you're not fighting the aging process like you are when you're in your 50s. Yeah, I mean, I'm blessed that I I look younger and I'm healthier and this and that, but I've already been injured a couple times. I've never ever sustained like really freaky injuries, but they put you behind. And I don't, and that's another reason why I was like, I'm coming and doing what I want sooner. I don't know where I'd be when I'm 60. I don't want to know that, you know, and like, and that's an unfortunate thing that happens to a lot of people. I mean, everybody's situation is different. You know, they could be married, have kids, or maybe married and divorced, and or whatever the situation is. So they can't just come to the Philippines just like that. So the stars kind of align for me. So yeah, I just wanted to do it now. I wanted to do it now when I knew that I still had my health. I'm not putting my hopes and my dreams in the future. I just wasn't going to do it. And again, thank goodness I had a job where I was able to have a pension. Not everybody has that. So thank goodness. Sorry for rambling about that, but thank you, Bellish Traveler. You just made me think about a lot of stuff. Jap 1967 says, I'm from UK. Been here 6 years, love the Philippines. Amen to that. And obviously you've been here 6 years, so I don't think you'd be here if you didn't love it. But I love hearing that. I'm sure I could learn a lot from you, Jap. Hey, David's here. David. How are you, David? I gotta do something for you, David. Hold on. I just added that to you. Now you're gonna be, I know you like the green, David. I see you looking good in the shamrock green. You actually match these beautiful trees behind me, David. David, like, I'm assuming you're in California. Update us. When is your flight? Because I'm assuming you're taking your flight from California to here to the Philippines. Darren says 104 Fahrenheit in your terms, and that is why I love being in the Philippines. And I've lived in Leyte with my girl for 2 months, and yeah, you're right, 2 months isn't enough time, but I came back to earn, and that's good. And people always ask me, like, that are considering coming to the Philippines, they say, how long, for the first time, or even in Asia, how long should I come? I can only share how I felt. And again, I was 54 when I came here, and I was here for, only supposed to be here for 2 months, and then I was able to extend. So if you have the opportunity, the funds, the time to be away from home, and you can come here and you want to give it a test run, I mean, I guess the least would be a month that I would recommend for somebody to come here. But again, it's almost going to be like a vacation. I mean, you're probably just going to be in hotels and stuff like that. So that's one way of looking at it. But then if you can go more than a month, I would recommend 2 months. And if you know it's going to be 2 months, I would try, let's say, an Airbnb. I think that's going to be less expensive than a hotel. But it's okay if you want to stay in a hotel, like especially your first go around. And then after you get more of an idea, if you really want to live here on a long-term basis, get an apartment. Save that money, what you save from the apartment. Cook at home, that's my advice. I love Philippine food. Now, I know a lot of foreigners that don't love Philippine food, but I do. My favorite is chicken adobo. But I like other stuff too. Heck, my Filipina, if I just want chicken breast cooked up, marinated, cook it, chicken breast, and then put it on some greens, lettuce, or a salad, I'm happy with a chicken salad. But you can also, I mean, there's nothing, I never ate out much in the United States either. So once in a while I just have a craving for a, I don't know, a burger here or a pizza. Still not quite the same as, you know, when you're in America, like what I'm used to. It's not always quite the same. But some are pretty close. You'll find American-owned restaurants here. A lot of foreigners sometimes invest and kind of make their own restaurants. American cuisine, whether it's Italian, whether it's burgers. You know, you see a lot of that. Um, David says, had to check my green. Yes, you're definitely green now, David, and I appreciate you becoming a member of my channel. Yes, you're the first, and as far as I know, the only one. And hey, God bless you for doing that. I truly appreciate that. Shout out to David. The reason his name's green is because he became a member of my channel. So I think that's pretty awesome, pretty cool. And you're the first and probably the only. Det Valone says, at Jap, I'm happy for you. Yeah, me too. Happy for you. Det says, at least your name is not Ryan. That's funny. Jap said, thanks, Det. Salamat po. David says, hi, Bill. Bill says, really cold in Iowa. David, howdy again. Man. Yeah, I think I even saw, like, my parents are in Pennsylvania still, and I think I even saw weather reports. I don't know if they were going to maybe get some snow, and it just made me appreciate and be thankful. I'm so glad I'm here. I don't miss no darn snow. But stay warm, Bill. David says, where is Iowa, Bill? Iowa is like Midwest, like right in the middle of the United States, basically. That's a Midwestern state. Det Valone says, Team Tambay. What's Team Tambay? Fill me in, Det. Sorry if I'm clueless when it comes to that. Bill Meyer says, David, Northwest Iowa, up by the lakes. Okay, yeah, you're like Midwest, northern up. I'm trying to picture it. I think of corn when I think of Iowa. Corn or potatoes? Maybe both. Darren says, hey, Michael, it's been great catching up with you, but I have to go to the city, which is 3 hours drive to pick up a friend from the airport. So see you next time. Darren, thank you for being here as always. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you for adding comments and context and keeping the chat going. I appreciate it, as well as I do everybody. Like I said, I'm just something simple, wanting a simple live stream and taking a break from walking. But hey, God bless you, Darren. See you next time. Ben said things are getting back to normal in the IT park and business park areas of Cebu City. Other parts are hit pretty hard. I've been here 2 months now. Damn, Ben, how crazy? Is time go by fast or what? 2 months. It just seems like you just got here. And what's crazy is it was like earthquake, typhoon, floods. You're definitely getting a taste of some crazy weather here in the Philippines. But Ben, thank you for being here also. Holy cow, it's Ray in the Philippines. If anybody doesn't know Ray is up in Tagaytay, Philippines. He's an American foreigner, expat, been here a while. He has a channel, Ray in the Philippines. Interested in Ray in the Philippines, give him a subscribe. He has his wild kind of nights. If anybody's into watching Ray do another shot, Cheap Pounder Hard, I haven't seen him yet, but Ray tends to do a shot, I think it's what, Tan Do I, or something like that? Tan Do I? I don't drink, I'm boring, but actually I'm pretty entertaining and I don't drink. I drink coconut water, electrolyte drinks, coffee, obviously. So yeah, I'm like the designated driver of YouTube. So if anybody needs me to, moderate their channel, I can be the designated YouTube driver. But thank you, Ray. Glad to see you here. And hey, no worries about last night. That's all right. Che and I were good. We had a fun live stream. We even had a little local 12-year-old Filipino singer, good kid named JW, John Wade. His job consists of entertaining and singing to people in the Philippines. And I met him a while ago, and I take care of him, helping them to save up for a cell phone. Mother and father apparently deserted him. He lives with his grandmother and his sister. And yeah, so for him to make money, he sings, and he's a very good singer. And if you haven't checked out that live stream, it's kind of in the beginning, you can watch JW sing. Just a good kid, as a lot of kids are. But he works for his money. And he has a gift. I feel bad for JW, 12-year-old Filipino kid, because He'd probably have some opportunities if he was in the U.S. in the show business department. But anyway, check it out. But thanks, Ray. Nice seeing you. Been walking, of course. I'm on my walk break. David says my grandparents were from Cedar Rapids. Okay. Yep, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I'm familiar with that. Never been there, but heard of it. Det Malone says, hi, Ray. You're late. Yeah, we got to get on Ray's shit. You're late, Ray. But no, it's all right. I'm kidding. He's probably cooking something. Maybe jambalaya. Plus, he's got his friends there visiting from Texas, if I remember. And I know that I don't know if they got the condo yet for his friends, but Ray's been kind of busy. He's a wanted man. Ray said, hey, David. Hey, Dad. Yeah, I had to walk to the store. Hey, that's good that you were walking, Ray. I like hearing that. Walking is awesome. You know me. I tried, I was going to do a walk and talk. I was going to try and risk it with this data. As soon as I started the live, I was walking. It showed reconnecting. It went right out the window. I was like, all right, I'm going to walk to some shade here on the boulevard. I'm just going to go live, sitting. But each time I experienced, and I know I can't, my expectations are too high for data to walk. I am going to get the Starlink Mini, and obviously probably have to carry it in like a backpack or something, so I can walk and talk. So when I'm walking and talking, you guys will be able to see everywhere I go. And I think it'll be neat because you'll get to see everywhere I go. I like being in different areas, like locations, and try to give you guys, especially people that aren't here in the Philippines, I want to give you guys a glimpse of the Philippines, at least Dumaguete where I'm at. And at some point when I travel, I want to be able to take you with me also and do live streams. Aside from videos too, which like I said, I have a video I need to edit. After this, I'll probably walk to the local coffee shop and get to edit so I can post a video, and hopefully people watch it. Hopefully people like it. It's more or less just a basic vlog of me and Che going out and about. So spoiler alert, that's what it's gonna be. But me personally, I like videos of when people are just doing their everyday life, because those are the ones I watched when I was in the United States, because that gave me a real glimpse of what it's like to live in the Philippines. And when I was in the US, damn, I keep thinking I'm feeling ants. When I was in the US, I'm gonna walk over here, hopefully it doesn't die. But when I was in the US, when I would watch other YouTubers and they would show their daily experiences, I would live my life in their shoes. And what you learn is that's what a lot of people that for whatever reason are considering the Philippines, maybe they can't ever come to the Philippines because they could have health issues that prevent them from doing that, or it could be monetary issues that would prevent them from doing that. So my job and my motivation is to inspire other people. So here's the new Dumaguete sign, is to inspire people to come to the Philippines. And, because maybe I can have a positive effect on somebody, and my emotions and my energy from being here can have the same effect on someone else, like other YouTubers had the same effect on me. Jap says, hey, Ray. Ray in the Philippines says, hey, JP, birthday boy. Hey, Jap, is it your birthday? You're supposed to tell me it was your birthday so we can sing happy birthday to you on the live stream. I'd be okay with doing it too. So confirm that's your birthday. Ben says, hello, Ray. Hello, everyone in the chat. That's why I like when people say hi. Bill Meyer says, David, no, I'm nowhere, I guess near Cedar Rapids. Is about 5.5 hours west north. Ray says, hey, Ben. David Jessup says the 19th. That's right. It's getting close. David's coming to the Philippines, and I'm excited for him. I don't know if I'm going to risk try sitting on this darn wall because my ass will be on fire, but kind of felt some ants maybe getting in my pants and biting. That's the one thing. These ants can be little damn things, but man, They crawl up on you and you don't know it, and then all of a sudden you feel a pinch. Yeah, so they bite. All right, David, that's awesome. The 19th. Bill says, Ray, howdy. JP says, haha, thanks again, Ray, for my personal live stream. Ray in the Philippines says, hey, Bill. Louis says, hey, Mike, did you get your coffee? Yes. Hello, Louis, for starters. Thank you for being here. Yes, I did get my first coffee. If I didn't have my first coffee, I would probably be pretty, I don't know, grumpy right now. So yeah, I had my first one. I'll be getting number 2 at some point. I'm gonna put, yeah, I ain't sitting on that wall. But I just wanted you guys to see the background and then the port behind me. I'll go back over to the other spot under the tree because those ants, they freaking bite. But yeah, Louis, I got my coffee. You know that first sip, double espresso latte, when it hits the lips, it just instantly, it's like I'm plugging myself into an outlet. I need that coffee to get my day started. Although that wasn't the first thing I did. I did have breakfast first. Now I'm gonna go back under this tree. If I get any ants in my pants. But as you can see behind me, what do we got here? Bo's Coffee, that's right there. Oh wait, yeah, right there, Bo's Coffee. That's a popular coffee. There used to be a Tom Tom's coffee place. I think it's shut down. I don't really, like I said, I go to But First Coffee, my number 1A, 1B choice of coffee here. I know the owners and the people that work there, they treat me like family. There ever since I've been here. You know, I get the VIP treatment in the coffee shop. Then there's like an outdoor coffee shop called Kohi. It's at the end of nearby Silman College. I think they originally put the coffee shop in that location. The coffee's really good and it's very inexpensive. And the reason it's less expensive is for the college kids, and actually the high schools are by there too. And I've never seen so many high school kids that drink coffee here in the Philippines, unlike I never saw that much in the US. Now, if they went to Starbucks, they were getting all those frappuccinos. It was like drinking a milkshake. But yes, Louis, thank you for your concern. I did get my coffee. David says, I don't need to be a mod. No, I mean, if you don't want to be one, I'll take you off. I just figured I'd give you the honor of being a mod. Wait a minute, Bill, Michael was just wondering where my wrench disappeared. Are you serious? Hold on, I'll fix it. I didn't know your wrench disappeared. Well, it's back. It should be back now. I didn't take anybody off. The only way I ever remove somebody from a moderator is if they say they don't want to be one, or if they kind of maybe do something I don't like. I don't know. But I think for the most part, everybody I have as a moderator is a good person. I even need to make freaking Ray one. I don't understand. How the hell? I thought I made Ray one a long time ago. Hold on here. Yeah, I usually just leave. I leave comments alone. Like I said, I don't need anybody to take any comments off, even if it offends you, unless it's something that's just outright. Ants. Unless it's just something outright nasty. Hold on, I'm doing an ant check. Then I get it, but for the most part, I guess my live streams aren't that big right now, so I never noticed too many trolls, but maybe I spoke too soon. Oh, so you guys should have your wrenches back now. I don't know what the hell's going on here. David, I like being the odd green. Oh, I got you. All right, now I'm gonna put you back to the odd green one. Remove a standard moderator. All right, I'm gonna make you back to the green mean fighting machine. Jap, haha, David likes the green. Green beret. Yeah, he does. I put it back. My apologies. I wasn't thinking. I was thinking you were gonna still be green with a wrench. I don't know how that works. I'm learning. I'm still a newbie, a YouTube newbie, especially in the live stream universe. But I'm getting there. I have fun with it. I like it. But the coffee gives me the energy, plus the walking. People always think when you walk too much, oh, I feel so tired. I get more energy as I walk. The more energy you use, the more energy you accumulate. I could get a good night's sleep some night, get up, sit on a couch and not do anything. And then I'd feel like I never slept. All right, I gotta go down here because somebody just gave me a David Jessup, my gosh, for a coffee. You know what? I could share that $5 here because I think I can get 2 coffees for the price of that. But David Jessup, God bless your heart. God bless who you are. This would be if you know who Chief Pounder Heart is, he's the only person I've ever gotten a super chat from. So God bless you, David Jessup, for giving me a super chat. I'm always humbled. You don't need to do that for me, but I've never had people do stuff like this for me. I've always kind of been living my life where I always hook everybody else up. That's why another reason why I like being here in the Philippines is because I'm a very charitable person, and sometimes I walk past random people here in the Philippines that I can tell they need help, they need money, and they're not asking for it. As a believer in God, like we all have a gift. And I was told recently at a Bible study when I was in Bacolod that they believe my gift is of charity. And I really feel it in my heart. I come across these people that I need to help. And so I'm blessed by that. So I'm going to go back to where I left off. But David, I mean, everything that you've been through, I'm so excited that you're coming here. You subscribed to a membership today, which is great. And then you give me this super chat. I don't know. You guys, and all you guys, like it's like you build this community, and it's humbling. It's really humbling, and I think God works through you guys, and that's why you give me a super chat. Maybe because of what I do for others. That's the only thing I can explain why. But I appreciate the goodness and the generosity in your heart. Ray says, oops, Mike, remove moderator from dog. Yeah, I got that one. I got it, Ray. Yeah, I was thinking again, I thought it was going to be green while he was a moderator. But yeah, he definitely deserves to be special and green. Louis, sometimes I just want to eat spaghetti out of a can. Sometimes I just want to eat spaghetti. I don't know about out of a can. Ray likes spaghetti. He's talked about his. I'd be curious to try Ray's spaghetti. I don't know how that's ever going to work out down here in Dumaguete, but I can get spaghetti at my favorite restaurant in Dumaguete. Is called Astoria. Esturia. Sounds like story. Astoria. The guy's Filipino, but he has a very what's the best word? His cuisine is like Italian. I even think he has like Mexican. He also has Philippine. His name's Richie, Filipino. He's lived in the U.S., was a chef in the U.S., has a lot of experience in the U.S., but obviously came back here, started his restaurant, has burgers. Like if I need the best pizza, I go to Astoria. If I need the best burger, I go to Astoria. So if you're ever in Dumaguete, check out Astoria. I'm going to be doing a video of his restaurant soon too. I wanted to share that because I know a lot of foreigners like to learn about places to eat that, and if you value my opinion on a restaurant and I share a video, you might like it. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that soon. But yeah, Astoria. Ray says, I would join, but I can't make purchases, I think, because my phone is set to Philippines. But you don't need to join. It's okay. And also because I'm poor. It's all right, Ray, in the Philippines. No need. I appreciate the thought. All right, David, you should be green now. I just haven't gotten down that far. Again, thank you for the super chat. I'm in Moyer in Iowa. Phil Meyer says, I'm 35 minutes from the Minnesota border. Yeah, you're in some cold territory because I know Minnesota gets cold. Not because I've been there, I just hear it. But Pennsylvania's gotten cold too, guys. I mean, I can remember, hell, maybe it's like the late 1990s. I remember all the blizzards and the snow. just seemed like it snowed. One of the worst winters we ever had. They like ran out of room to put the stuff. Snow was freaking over your head for weeks and took forever to actually melt. I don't miss it. Maybe a nice little snow on Christmas, and that's it, but I don't miss it. Yeah, David says, okay, Bill. Bill says, I haven't seen Chief on for a while. Yeah, Chief must be sleeping. I don't know if I even saw him in my live stream last night, but he's a trip. If him and Ray were together in the Philippines, I don't know who would be responsible for getting them arrested, but one of those two. They'd be better off just locking themselves in a room and telling each other to drink. That'd probably be the safest. Bill says, okay. Ben says, Michael, you're not boring, you're just simple. Yeah, I appreciate you saying I'm not boring. I am simple. I can ramble though. I like talking. People always say, and I've said this before, but I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. When they ask me what are certain things I miss about the USA, one of the things is conversation. I do have foreign friends here, but obviously one of my good friends is in Bacolod, where I used to live, Gary, who's the husband of Leah, her YouTube channel is Philippine Family Life with Leah. Shout out to Leah. If you're not a subscriber, check it out. And Gary is now Always Be Prepared, used to be American Christian in the Philippines. He changed his name, but he's from the US. Leah's a Filipino. They're good friends, you know. I followed them on YouTube, and then I met them when first couple weeks I got here to Dumaguete in July of 2024. Now they're like my best friends, some of my best friends. And some of my best friends are YouTubers that I never imagined in a million years that I would meet. It's like small world. But thank you for the comment. I am just me. I think the best compliment I ever get, other than simple, goes hand in hand with people always refer to me as Michael's just genuine. I'm just myself. Johanna Skog. Hey, I remember your name, Johanna Skog. That sounds familiar. I think you were on the live stream last night. I appreciate you being here. And as always, to repeat, if you haven't given me a like, if you like that I'm simple, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, as always, subscribers help me, help my channel grow, and also gives me the opportunity to meet you. And without subscribers, which as Ray and I say, and any YouTuber should say, you become friends. Without friends, this YouTube wouldn't be happening without you guys. Det Malone says Tambay means hanging out, like what you're doing, sitting there outside, like all of us here in the chat. Team Tambay, gotcha. Team Hangout. And I, again, appreciate it. I will always be redundant in saying my thanks to you guys, which actually is going pretty good, 60 plus minutes, around 10 or so subscribers or more. That's good for me. I'm happy with that. And make a hat out of that min and we'll keep the rain off. Make a hat out of that min. Sorry, Bill. I want to laugh with you, but as soon as I see min, I'm thinking Minnesota. But we'll keep the rain off. Unless it was something somebody else said and I just kind of lost my train of thought. Bill, you can fill me in. I apologize. I want a good laugh. I like to laugh. Ben says, good to see that they fixed the Dumaguete sign. Yeah, again, it's so much nicer. I have to come by here at night. It does light up. But, yeah, streets are busy. Traffic, people's just rolling along. But you know what's funny? Che and I took a tricycle yesterday, which we'll share. I'm making a video out of that. Just our day, vlogging, running around. When we were in the tricycle, there's traffic. And it's so nice when you get used to not having to be in such a hurry. That American mindset, at least, or Western mindset, of always being in a rush. Gotta be here, there, gotta get this. You learn, like, when you're in traffic and if it's gonna take a while for you to get to here or there, You just don't care. You gain that Philippine mindset that's why they don't have stress. They're not in a hurry. Now, that's not to say there aren't some situations that maybe you're in a hurry, but for the most part, that's why there's no stress here in the Philippines. You're not in a hurry. I mean, if you're here, I don't have to get up for work. My job is YouTube. If I have a job, that's my job. But you adapt. At least I have. I don't complain about traffic because I don't care. I don't have to worry that getting somewhere slow is going to interfere. I just like to be a go of the flow kind of guy and just roll with it. And yeah, that's how you remove stress from your life. You just, traffic, oh well, we'll get there when we get there. Ray in the Philippines says, Jap, 1967 equals John Platt, JP. He lives in Cavite, north of me. Yeah, I got that. He told me that earlier. He explained his whole name. He has a long name, but again, I just met him the other day. Well, became acquainted with him and very supportive. The art chair said, hey, Michael, on the boulevard, just running out the door to work. I'll try and rejoin when I get there. Hey, art chairs, I appreciate you being here. You've been here from the beginning since you became a subscriber of mine. And hey, just stopping in to say hi means more to me than anything. And everybody that's here, thank you for being here. You're giving me something to do. You're giving me good conversation. And I got to get it out. I got to get it out of my system, you know. I can have conversations with Che, but not to this extent. She'd probably put her fingers in her ears. Nah, I'm just kidding. She wouldn't do that. But thank you, art chairs. David says, I'm assuming you're green now. I haven't gotten that far down there. One duffel bag packed, one still to pack. That sounds good to me. Travel as light as possible. You can buy anything here. You don't need to. I learned that, you know. You can just buy stuff here. JP says, thanks, Michael. It's my birthday, but no need to sing for me. Guess what? I'm just going to say, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jab. Happy birthday to you. And many more to come. I could sing better than that, but you said you're shy, so I want to keep it simple. Something simple, is my life. Something simple. Bill says, okay, let's see. I'm here twice. Double duty Ray. Maybe that's why. I had one of your all right, so now both your things are moderated. I don't know what's going on. Bill, you got the wrench. Good. And then Ray says you have my alternate. I think you have them now, both now. And there's David's 5 super chat. Again, thank you. God bless you. I'm blessed. Appreciate your generosity. Ray says, awesome, David. Bill says, bravo, David. David says, a man always needs coffee. I agree with that. Yeah, anything you give to me is going to go towards coffee. I love my coffee. And obviously you do too, David. Maybe someday we can get a coffee together and I can return the favor. Ray says, and rum. Of course, I was going to say, I didn't want to put you on the spot, Ray, and say, and some people need to do a drink. I don't know what's going on behind her. Loading up the van. And, wait. Bill Mayer says, Ray. Bill Meyer. And JP says, and Red Horse. Yeah, I'm familiar with Ray drinking gin, Tanduay, Red Horse. I know he had some other things that day. He had multiple bottles of everything. I couldn't even keep up. I was wondering today how rum would taste in coffee. Something tells me I'll find out. Something tells me you'll probably find out too, Ray. And it's probably something simple, Ray. No pun intended, but it's probably something simple. The only thing alcohol I ever mixed with coffee was Bailey's. Bailey's, like some sort of cream. That was many, many years ago when I would drink alcohol. I don't anymore, but that was tasty. I do remember that. Now, if it was non-alcoholic Bailey's, I would do that. Jap says, or mule if you're from Masbate. Oh my gosh, everybody's like, run, run. That's what's so cool. There's always so many people around here. Perfect for people watching if you're into people watching. Mule is good, but too sweet. I don't even know what mule is. Obviously alcohol. I can't drink many. I don't believe that, Ray. Hearing you say I can't drink many, I think you're full of bull. I've never, like if I drank a quarter of what you drank the other night, I'd be dead. I wouldn't even be alive. Bill says, I love real Italian food right now. Sugar in it. You like sugar in your Italian food, Bill? Or no sugar? Okay, yeah, I don't like sugar. And I know they make their spaghetti sauce here in the Philippines and it's sweet and there's sugar in it. I don't like that. Ben says, it's nice to give back if you can. Yeah. Yep. Someday I'll share it with you guys what I plan on doing with anything that I would get from my channel. I'll share that story, but I don't want to tell anybody right now because I'm kind of shy about that. So someday I'll share. I have a plan that I told Che from the beginning that my way of giving back kind of goes hand in hand to what you say, Ben. And then David says it's always better to give than to receive. Amen to that. And to give to people who give is what I try to do. That's really nice. It's like I tell people for Christmas, I don't care if I get anything. I don't want anything. Just having my health is more than I can ever want in life. Ray says, James likes my spaghetti. I'll make you some when I get around visiting Dumageddon. Now that's the spirit, Ray. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'll be waiting for that. David, I think Lynn is going to come on a trip to Masbate or Masbate. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I remember, Ray, you saying that before. Che removed her comment. I don't know why she did that. David removed his comment. What's going on with you guys? Hey, Che, thanks. I'm very guapo. Yeah, well, actually, Ray, aren't you super guapo? I think you're super guapo. Louis, have you invited a close friend from Pennsylvania to come to the Philippines? I have friends from Pennsylvania that have talked about coming to the Philippines, but I mean, I try to inspire them to come. I wouldn't say I necessarily, I guess I've said, hey, anytime you want to come, let me know. So yeah, I guess I've invited people, but you know, some people are just afraid to take the leap of faith. They're afraid to come so far from home. They're so content with their, I don't know, I call it the bubble. You got to want to do it and not be afraid. And I get why some people would be afraid. I mean, I was intimidated a little bit too, my first time. Hopefully some people do come, Louis. That'll be nice. JP says, are you going to the Beaver on the 9th for the expat meetup? Are you asking me, JP? Because no, that would be too far away from me. Okay, Ray, that's great. Che here, that would be my girlfriend. She's here. Min Starlink is what I was talking about. Yes, I need the mini Starlink, Bill. That's what I need to be able to do my walk and talk. That will be my, I guess, a gift that I have to plan for myself. Yeah, that's something I want to do. Be beneficial to me instead of just walking in these little circles here because I'm afraid to move and lose the signal. NHA says, hello. Oh yeah, Guapa Michael. Hello, Guapa Che. I don't think it's Lynn trusts me to go to Masbate again by myself. I get that, Ray. You did that to yourself, but that's funny. She just cares about you. That's all that is. Thanks for clarifying, Ray says to Che. Yes, it's SG for, you're not just guapo, you're super guapo. I'm learning. Wait, David says, yes, that's there will be room for Lynn. Oh, yes, there will be room for Lynn. Ben says, along the sidewalk that I take to IT part. There is a homeless teenager that sits and draws on paper, never asks for money. I brought her a sketch pad and pencils, 100 pesos. She was so happy. See, that's awesome. That's the kind of stuff that I do. Now, I never bought someone art, paper, or pencils. I give it to people that don't ask. That's usually been the most inspiring thing to do, is like give to people that don't ask, but you can see need help. But that's very gracious and generous of you, Ben, to do that for that individual. That's awesome. That's charity. That's awesome. I can relate to that. That's why I love the Philippines, you know, helping people. And like I said, I don't know what it is. Now, I've helped people that have asked, but it's the ones I'm just drawn, like my spirit, like I get this message, I say, from God saying, Michael, help this person. I just can feel it, and then I do it. And a lot of them are the ones that I see that seem like they're looking into no man's land, like their life is hopeless, and those are the ones I've had the most moving, spiritual moving moments. And Che knows about it. Like, you know, I had a few, but one that really stood out to me, that I helped this young girl. Ray says, I'll make you and Michael some spaghetti when I visit. Che, I'll give you all time to get settled. Yeah, we're just waiting on the apartment. Hopefully that works out. Ray says, awesome, David. We'll meet you at the airport if you want. Help you get around and help with your luggage. Very nice, Ray. Yeah. David, I'm excited for you, man. Can't wait till you get here. Hopefully someday we meet. Like I said, I want to return the favor of the coffee. Louis says, today, Mike, I was thinking of how much I hate about myself of eating fast like I'm in a hurry. Well, I don't know if you're referring to like eating too fast because you're in a hurry and maybe it's not good to eat too fast or something like that. I mean, you should always make sure you're chewing your food quickly, you know. You never want to, you know, be in a hurry to eat so it digests right, if that's what you're talking about. I don't know why you would hate that about yourself, Louis. I mean, some people, it's not like I've never eaten fast. It happens. JP says, thanks, Michael. Appreciate your song. That's the least I can do, man. You've been very supportive of my channel just a few days ago, so. And birthdays are special. I think sometimes as we get older, we kind of just blow it off, but birthdays are special. David says, Ray, I have a room by the airport so you can be there. I'll send you the info in my email. Awesome, guys. That's cool, Ray. You'll be able to help them out. Ray says, I can't drink many mules because of the sweetness, not the alcohol. Mule is a sweet ginger beer with vodka. Holy cow. Vodka and beer mixed together. Can't say I never knew of that combination. Wow. Ah, cool. We got a Charisse here. Hello, new subscriber from Washington State. Awesome. Charisse, thank you for showing up here. Thank you for subscribing. I hope my channel is something that you're interested in. And thank you for subscribing, you know, and even give me a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Obviously, I guess you wouldn't subscribe if you weren't interested. But Charisse, make sure you show yourself again. I'm trying to get a little more consistent with live streams, so if you say hello now, I'm putting my expectations high for you to join us. There's like a good group of people always in my live streams, and you know, hopefully it continues to grow. And with people like you, that's awesome. I appreciate it, Charisse. Ask questions, give comments. How's weather in Washington State, Charisse? That's what I should ask. What's the weather like? Mine's sunny here in the Philippines, and my name is Michael, if you don't know that. Ray says, gotcha, David. Just wanted to make sure you had some help and a friendly face when you get here. That's great. Yeah, Ray will take care of you. Ray, I'll be too busy to make the meetup on the 9th at the Beaver, maybe next one. Hey, Abandoned Souls, welcome you, my friend. You were here last night, if I remember correctly, on the live stream, me and Che, and had a friend of ours, a local Filipino boy, who was singing. So yeah, thank you for being here. Uh-oh, Manila, he's here. Thank you, Manila. You were here last night. I know you heard the little John Wade, JW. He was singing last night for us, and that was awesome. I'm glad I got to share that with you guys. Yeah, Martin. Hey, Eli. Ray says, hey, Eli. Hey, Martin. Abandoned Souls. I needed to wait 6 days to change my YouTube handle, and hello, Ray. I'm just glad you're here, Abandoned Souls. Thank you. Always appreciate it. I like when I get familiar faces. I mean, I like when I get new faces too, but I appreciate it. Philip says, I am Ray is second to me. Haha. Welcome here, Philip. Nice to see you. Hey, Philip, super guapo, of course. I don't want to go in here. I'm afraid I need to go across the street. I need to pee soon. That coffee's starting to kick in, and I don't want to kill the live stream, but I don't want to lose the signal either. Nothing like when you got to pee, and I'm not full Philippine here, and I'm not willing to just pee right out here on the sidewalk. That's why I'm pacing. I got to go to the bathroom. Philip says, love you, brothers. David says, you know that I will be flying in on a private flight, so got a room at the same hotel. I can book a room for you and Lynn also. Wow, private flight. That sounds nice. At least you'll be able to stretch your legs out. That's one of the most uncomfortable things to do, is to be on a plane and trying to, we'll see how my signal holds up here, because I'm gonna go right here. Let me show you. I'm gonna go into Bo's Coffee. Let me know if anything starts lagging, although I still have the comments, you know. I gotta sneak in here and I gotta use the bathroom. Hopefully there's nobody in there, but then there's probably somebody waiting, I'm sure. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Someone's in there? Okay. I gotta wait. Anyway, David, enjoy your flight. That'll be nice. JP says, haha, Ace Bachelor fool is Mr. SGG. Right in the Philippines, that's generous. I'll take you up on that. Just email me. Philip says, hello, Mike. How are you doing today? I'm doing awesome. I'm always awesome when you guys are here. Give me something to talk about. I need my conversation. David says, great, Ray. Looking forward to this. Ray says, me too, brother. David says, you and Lynn can show me around before we go to Masbate. Now I get to go to the bathroom. All right, are we still here? Let me know. Hopefully I didn't lose anybody. Ugh, that was a little risky. Going to the bathroom during a live stream is not always the best, but I'm better now. I don't feel like I'm gonna explode. Let me know, anybody, if let me know if I'm still streaming with you guys. Anybody, just give me like a shout out and let me know. I'm gonna go back and sit in my spot. And I apologize if the chat was disrupted, but I really had to go. And I gotta put my power bank on the back of my phone. So again, all right, I'm back. All right, thank you. It was like once I closed the door in the bathroom, I it started spinning, but I had to go. All right, let me try and go back to where I left off. All right, let me see. Abandoned Soul, that's Eli. My apologies, Eli. I gotta wipe my phone off too. Splash water all over it from when I wash my hands. I'll try and remember that, Eli. My apologies. I don't mean to keep calling you abandoned souls. Bellis Traveler 4 and once. Be safe and good luck down there. Thank you very much. Ray says absolutely. Bella says hey Ray. Ray says Michael. Abandoned Soul says Eli. Got you. Thank you. Ray says hey Bellis. Eli says yeah. Ray says just turn the camera around, Michael, please. LOL. I had it shooting up in the air. I wasn't gonna. I'm not only fans only channel. Eli says also his exam was great. That's right. I think it was last night when you said you had to go because you had to get up for school or something, or you had to go because you had to go to school. And I said, yeah, don't be late. Bellis says note, carry baby wipes also in case you get some bad barbecue and go sprinting. Yeah. One thing you also learn here in the Philippines is there's always a scarcity, not only of toilet paper, but paper towels or like something to dry your hands off. Like when I went in there, my hands were soaking wet. Washed my hands, but they were wet. Ray in the Philippines says, awesome, Eli. My highest was 48 of 50. Good for you, Eli. Good for you. No point in being in school if you're not going to be successful. Ray says, yes, baby wipes in the travel bag. Ray also says, good place for stream to freeze. No need to see what happens in the CR. Yeah, I only had to pee. Really bad. Bill says, I went to the eye doctor to make an appointment for new glasses. It might be around $1,200. My goodness, are they crazy? But what can a guy do? You want to hear my story about glasses here, Bill? In the Philippines, I buy my frames in the US, the Ray-Ban. I wait till I go to the eye doctor here, right here in Dumaguete. I'm sure it's everywhere. These lenses that are in my glasses are the same lenses that I would get in a Vision Works optical center in the US. Now they're transitional, they're transitional something scratch. They're like very expensive. In the US, each lens is around, before your so-called now I'm drawing a blank. What you got to pay after your insurance goes through. Anyway, these lenses are around $300 each for all this, what I have in these lenses in the US. Well, when I was here before I went home, I had my old pair, and I was with a friend, a local Filipino, because he had to just get something done with his glasses. He said, you mind coming with me? I said, sure. So we go in there and I'm like, I'm just gonna ask him. My lenses were kind of getting scratched because I was lazy and I wasn't using my case, and I would just fold these up and put them in my pocket. Well, guess what? If you keep doing that, your glasses are gonna get beat up just because they're not protected. Sitting down, bending in your pocket. So anyway, I said to the lady, for these exact lenses explained, she knew exactly what I had. I said, can you get these exact lenses? She goes, yes, I can, sir. And then she gets the calculator, types it in, and shows me in pesos, and then I converted it to USD. Deductible was the word I was thinking of in the US. After the deductible in the US, I was still paying over $300 for this. Just the lenses. Here in the Philippines, exact same thing. Guess how much I pay? $63 total for both of them. They were over $300 a piece in the US, $600. After the deductible, I was paying over $300. That's how crazy it is. So that's another benefit about here in the Philippines, the optical benefits. And if you're in good health, or if you have some health issues and you need certain meds or something like that, they're a lot cheaper here in the US, and you can literally basically just pay out of pocket. So yeah, $63 compared to $300 something dollars. I'll take the $63 every day of the week. Ray says crazy Bill. Bill says you back. Eli says that's a lot. Yes. Ray says you're good. Eli says crazy. 1,200 is great. Yes, it is. Yes, crazy price. Hey, Simon's here. Thank you for being here, Simon. David, what in the world are you doing? You just gave me another super chat. Man, you're spoiling me. I'm telling you. But you're humbling me. You're making me feel, I gotta admit, you're making me feel a little special. I'm not used to this. So, again, God bless you. And you're one of the people, I mean, I would love to meet everybody, but you're one of the many that I want to meet. And I hope I get the opportunity because I want to return the favor and get you coffee. But David, thank you. God bless you. You're a very kind and giving person. Wow. I'm just overwhelmed. Eli says it's okay, simple, cool. I like I said, I try to remember names and I'm getting better at it with your online names. Eli says with David. David says, hi, Simon. Simon says, hi again, Mr. David. Raina Philippines says, my channel is only fans in the province unless there's a brownout. Oh boy. Time for a drink, Ray. Where in the heck is Chief? Where is Chief? Ray says, then it's only sweat. Eli says, what is OnlyFans? Ask Ray. Eli, he'll tell you. Or he might show you. It's kind of when Ray lifts up his shirt on his live streams and he's giving us nipple shots. That's very minor, fans only. But yeah, Ray could fill you in on that a little more, right, Ray? Ray says, yes, only electric fans in province. JP says, haha, Ray, only ESO Wi-Fi in the province. Eli says, oh, okay. JP says, hey, Simon. See, again, the best thing everybody does here is say, not only just me, but everybody else says hello to everybody. And I'm always thankful for everybody that comes here supporting me. And yeah, this live stream's going really good. And it's actually been an hour and a half, so I probably won't go much longer. I got me more walking to do. Ray says, yes, I'll experience that soon. I'll go to Mindoro, either Lynn, Nene's birthday on the 17th, and then travel back to meet up with either David. Ray says, with Lynn, not sure I can live stream ESO Wi-Fi. David says, okay, Ray, I do remember that you had mentioned that on one of your live streams. No more comments, no more questions, no more jokes. So Ray, are you gonna be live streaming later this evening, or you got stuff to do? What's on your schedule for today? Yeah, Bill, like I'm appreciating the 12. I know that sometimes watching's not accurate, but I'm very happy. Like I said, I'm kind of still in the newbie stages of live stream. I guess it's kind of like your channel, still like trying to find your audience and stuff like that. But I love all the people that I get in my live stream. Again, I don't want to jinx myself. I don't seem to attract that many, not yet. And I, again, don't want to jinx like trolls, but they're inevitable. But I like that our live stream is it's going smoothly, and everybody that's here obviously wants to be here, and I'm appreciative and thankful of that. Ray says, not sure. We're supposed to go to dinner with the Bakers. It's also Frankie's birthday. Ray also says, haven't heard from them yet. Ray says, trolls are awesome. Yeah, I know, you love trolls. I think you attract trolls more than I do, but you also attract a bigger audience than I do too. So the bigger the audience, the more the more likely you're going to have some trolls. So I get that. Just kill them with kindness. That's my motto. I don't really care about deleting stuff unless it's just, I mean, it really has to be something harsh. I try to kill people with kindness, make them feel they're here. And I mean, they're obviously, when they come, they want to be in the lives for a reason. Louis said, can you check your stats of where your viewers are from in the world? It does show like a percentage, like, you know, it'll say United States, Philippines. I have US viewers percentage is the highest, Philippines is second. Third, fourth kind of fluctuates, like Canada. I've even have some from Korea. And that's kind of all I've noticed. And I think even Australia even shows. But yeah, you can definitely, that shows on your YouTube studio percentages. Good question, Louis. Yeah, that is, and it's nice to kind of see where everybody's watching, but it's been first and second's been United States and the Philippines for a while. Rate Philippines says, yep. They end up apologizing when they find out you're a nice guy. Yeah, and see, that's another thing, you know, like sometimes people are just looking for friends. They're looking for a community, and maybe they haven't had, you know, they just haven't had a good go of it, you know, and they use YouTube maybe as their way to reach out, but yet they don't want to show that they have a soft side. And then I've learned when you kill them with kindness, you kind of, I don't know, they show another side. And I see you have 1,200 subscribers. I don't think I have 1,200. Really? Maybe Ray does. I don't have 1,200. I'm sure if anybody, I think Ray might. I only had slightly over 1,000 subscribers, so I'd find that hard to believe, but you never know. I was just glad to break 1,000 and then see I lost 1,000 because I celebrated too soon. So I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to get excited because I was quickly disappointed. I went to like 1,001 and then I went down to like 900 and something and I celebrated. I was like, what? I was like, one step forward, 2 steps back. Eli said, my dad's Australian, my mom is Filipino. See, I like that. That's cool. Awesome, Eli. Dang, 1,200. Again, I'd be shocked if that was right. But hey, whatever I have, I'm thankful for it. Takes time. Some people go viral. I've seen other YouTube channels, they start to freaking take off right away. The luck of the draw, and it just happens. But I'm happy with where I'm at. Ray says, mine are US, Philippines, UK, Australia, Canada, India are my top 5. Okay. Bill said, that's what I see. And then Ray says, nah, I'm around 1090. Yeah, I thought I was at like 1020, not 1,200. David says, I wouldn't be as nice as you, Ray. That is why I don't live stream. Uh-oh. David, you seem really damn nice to me. Well, I guess anything's possible, David, but I have a hard time believing that you wouldn't be as nice as Ray, or you seem perfectly nice to me. I mean, heck, why don't you think you would be nice, David? That doesn't seem like, I find that hard to believe. But Eli says, my mom and dad met in a bar where my mom works before, LOL. Now, let me ask you, Eli, and I apologize if you've already said this. Where do you live currently right now? And I'm sure you told me, and maybe someday I'll get it through stuck in my brain, but just curious, being that, you know, are you here in the Philippines? Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't 100% sure, but I figured, well, if your dad is Australian and your mom is Filipina, I would assume you guys live here. But in some cases, some people do go back to the country of the husband originating. You could be in Australia. I know people from the United States that they met their Filipina here and now they're, living back in the United States. Ray says, he's laughing at David. Ray says, I'm on phone with Lynn on the other phone. You're just pulling double duty, Ray. You're just pulling double duty. But anyway, it seems like it's getting kind of quiet, guys. And maybe I should allow you guys to live your life and do something more entertaining than hanging out with me. But I appreciate it. And I plan on doing this. I don't know. Maybe I'll just make it a daily thing if people are willing to show up. Now, I don't have a set time. It's kind of like I said, Ray says, we don't make schedules. I know schedules can help as far as YouTube, especially if people want to make sure they're there at a certain time. But if you have your notifications on, but someday I might just pick a time for one of them in a day and just be like, hey, and pick a topic for the day and say, be there. But again, I got to get Starlink. That's something I need to start my, put some money to the side and start my little Starlink fund and figure out. I know James and Karen on their channel kind of broke it down for me a little bit, but I need to get like more specifics. He kind of said I can buy Starlink here. I just think that would be very beneficial to me because I like to walk a lot. I like to talk a lot when I'm walking. And if I can take you guys all over the Philippines, at least within Dumaguete for now, make a trip to Siquijor, aside from doing videos, because I still want to do those. I like doing them. I want people to be right there with me in the moment. Outdoors, I'm all about the outdoors. I just don't really like doing streams indoors because I don't like being indoors. So I think that's how I'm gonna pursue my next toy. On top of it, at some point also I want to have a secondary phone. I'm only using the one. But I got the mics, I have that, but I think a worthwhile investment living abroad like this or anywhere when you want to go out in the middle of nowhere and data. I mean, look what happens to me here in the city. I can't even barely go to the bathroom across the street. And the signal's going. So Starlink would be a worthy investment. Bill says 12:52 a.m. here in Iowa. Yeah, so you guys already, Bill, you guys already kicked in daylight savings time. I'm assuming. I think that's already in effect. Because before I was always 12 12 hours ahead of my parents who live in Pennsylvania. Now I think instead of being like, say it's 12 in the afternoon here, it would be midnight before in Pennsylvania. Now I think with daylight savings, instead of it being midnight, it would be 11 p.m. So I think it's 13 hours ahead, I guess. I guess you guys turn the clocks ahead, which I wish they just would get rid of daylight savings. I never understood what's an hour? David says, if people are good to me, I'm great to them. If they are rude to me, I will treat them worse. I don't even know why people would be, I don't know, rude to begin with, but I know how great of a person you are, and I love your support, and these super chats today, I'll never forget. And God bless you again, David, and we'll be keeping in touch. Like I said, up until you take your flight, so I'm excited for you. Louis says, let's do a YouTube giving for November. Yeah, I'd be open to anything, like a Friendsgiving. I'm gonna do, like I said, I think the live streams are great, allows you to build your community, allows you to interact with your friends, and I love it. But yeah, you're exactly right, Louis, friends. David says, the last 4 that tried to hurt me found out. Yeah, I just don't get people. Yeah. Ray said, I know that's right, brother. Archer said, made it to work. How's life, Michael and Che? Che went to her, not to her province. He went to her other parents' home here nearby in Dumaguete. It's like a 12-minute or so tricycle ride to Kandawai. So she's hanging out at her mom's. I do too much walking for Che. And then I'm beating her all up. That's not fair to Che. I don't want to beat her up like walking and stuff. She doesn't mind being in the sun because remember, she back up in her province when she was a young, very young girl, as early as 7 years old, she's working in rice fields in her province, which is Mabato Ayungin, which is like 3.5 hours from here. So she was, yeah, working in rice fields as a 7-year-old, 8 to 10 hours a day. Can you imagine that? I don't know if I know of any American girl, unless they grow up and they're raised on a farm. They're tough. But these Filipinas that grow up in the province, they're tough. In the heat, in the sun. That's hard work in a rice field. You're harvesting and then you're replanting and you're in this muddy water. Sometimes mosquito, like when she took me through the rice fields, I didn't notice any mosquitoes. Maybe other times are worse than others, but I'll tell you, I have a whole level of respect, not only for Che, but any girls that grew up in the province. They're tough girls. And like Che has like muscles like in her shoulder. Now she's small, but her shoulders remind me of my nieces who were swimmers for many years. They develop their back muscles and their shoulder muscles. Like she looks like a swimmer, and she can swim because I've recently learned, well, not that recent, but a while ago, that most Filipinas can't swim, which I actually thought it would be the other way around. So I'm glad that Che can swim. So if we ever want to go snorkeling, she can enjoy doing that. But thank you for being back here, Art Chairs. Bill, yeah, you were gone at a good time, Art Chairs. I had to go pee really bad, so I ran across the street to this coffee shop, ran in there, and I kind of lost my connection, which was probably good, but I had the phone laying down, so it's probably good that you missed me when I was going to the bathroom. Phil said, absolutely turned clocks already the other day. Yeah, I thought so. So now, like I said, if it's 8 in the morning here, East Coast, it would be 7 p.m. at night instead of 8 p.m. at night, which I haven't talked to my parents in a while. David says, we will meet up, Mike. We will eat and drink coffee. Hey, that sounds great to me. I'm looking forward to it, David. And if you like to drink, you're more than welcome to drink. I will cheers coffee or coconut water or calamansi. I love that, like a little lime juice. Just get the juice with a little bit of honey and a cold drink. It's my favorite. That's like an awesome shot of vitamin C. It fires me up. But thank you, David. I look forward to it. Ray says, I'll come to Dumaguete in December. Sounds good to me. Should have my apartment before then. November 15th is when I'm supposed to get it, so fingers crossed. Takoda is here. Hey, Takoda. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with you, but yeah, strength, muscles. I like that. Where are you from, Takoda? Thank you for joining my live stream. My name's Michael, here with a bunch of my other friends in the Philippines. And yeah, I'm in the Philippines. But thanks for being here, Takoda. If you like what you see, thumbs up. If you're also interested in what you see, subscribe. I'd be more than open to anybody subscribing to my channel. Bill says, we on the farm pulled weeds out of the fields in harvesting time. We walked cornfields and picked ears of corn. Yeah, people on farms or provinces, I think you're just tough. Manual labor. I grew up around a lot of manual labor. Now, I didn't work on a farm, but I did a lot of manual labor, and I think that is why my health is what it is today. Also, along with the fact that I eat healthy and I don't drink or smoke. I think all those things go hand in hand. But my grandfather, who's no longer with us, but he died many years ago, he lived until I think he was 97 years old. And he always told me the reason why he lived, when he was alive, that he was alive, he said he's living so long because he worked hard. He was born in 1899. And he said he had to start working when he was a very young kid, probably around the same age. He was like 7, never went to school. You had to work in the U.S. as a child, like he had to feed his family. But he always used to say he lived a long life because he worked really hard. Ray says, will your apartment be ready by then, Michael? Yeah, Ray. If it's not the one I'm waiting for, then it will be another one, which I have a backup contingency plan in place, but I really want this particular one, which is supposed to be ready November 15th. Takato says, do Filipinos like coffee? Hell yeah, they like coffee. You can't go anywhere in the Philippines and not find a coffee shop. Sometimes I wonder, even here in Dumaguete, how all these coffee shops stay in business. I don't know how they stay in business because there's so many of them. You can't go, I say a couple blocks. There's coffee shops everywhere. You know, you have the name brand coffee shops, and then you got the little private owned coffee shops. I love coffee, so I definitely don't think there's an abundance of coffee shops due to the foreigners like myself. It's definitely a bonus to have coffee shops here, but no, I think Philippine people love coffee. Che, my girlfriend, loves coffee. Her family, they drink coffee. And a true Filipino, you dip bread in coffee. Once you do that, you become a baptized by fire true Filipino when you dip your coffee, dip your bread in the coffee. I actually did a short like that on my channel too. Che said, you're a true Filipino now, Michael. You dip your bread into your coffee. And I was like, yep. So yeah, they do, Takata. Good question. Thanks for being here. I don't think anybody's ever asked that question, but yeah, it's a good one. Bill says, call home, they would be very happy and grateful. Call home, they would be very happy and grateful you do. Oh yeah. Yeah, my mom, she it's funny, I have a coffee mug at home. And it was a coffee mug that I received as a gift many years ago from my friends that live in the United States that became U.S. citizens, but from the Dominican Republic, so they speak Spanish. They got me a coffee mug that said something in Spanish on it, and it has my photo that they took of me on the coffee cup. So when I left, I'm like, what am I gonna do with this coffee cup? I couldn't bring it, but it was one of my favorite. So what did I do? I gave it to my mom. So she uses that coffee cup. She's 85. My mother and father are both 85. My younger brother takes care of them, but she uses that coffee cup every day. So she sees that picture of me every day. And she has kind of a little bit of dementia, a little bit, but she's actually doing a lot better because my brother's a health nut like me. So he's incorporated health food into her diet. Well, if her incorporating the health food into her diet, as well as my father's, it's improved her dementia drastically. Exercise and diet has reversed the effects of dementia. She got dementia because of the poor diet that she had, and it's a fact. So I'm getting to see my mother improve. She wasn't talking much. She had things that she wanted to say on her mind, but she couldn't spit the words out. Now she tells my brother, you know, I was home for like March until June this year, but she was improving, but she wasn't at the point that she is now. So now it's like I'm holding a conversation with my mother again, where I thought at one point I was like worried that I was never going to be able to have conversations with my mom again. So God bless my brother. God bless God for giving my mother another chance. But all glory goes to God, but the glory I also give to my brother. He's dedicating his life to taking care of my parents because they'd probably be in a nursing home if it wasn't for him. But he improved them. It's unbelievable. I can talk to my mom again. I don't know how people perceive that, but imagine when I got to a point where thinking I was never going to ever be able to have like a conversation with my mom. God bless my brother. My brother's name's Jeff. Ray says, okay, finished talking to Lynn on this phone. I was multitasking, texting and talking. David says, I am good with coffee or a drink or a shot of Jack in the coffee. Whatever works for you, my friend David. That's what matters most. It's what matters to you. And that's what I respect. Eli says he's back. Hey, Gino's here. Thanks for being here, Gino. Yeah, we've been gabbing, I've been gabbing, going on probably longer than I anticipated, but the chat's flowing. So I guess it's like, I don't want to desert it because it's going so good. I've gotten a lot of walk-in and I'm going to be able to get more. Like I said, I got to go check in this, see if I run into the owner of this apartment building, see if it's almost finished. But amen to that. I'm glad you're here, Gino. Love your channel. And hey, anybody, if you're not a subscriber to Gino's channel, which is Dazzle TV, just my recommendation. Good guy, great family. His lives are very entertaining. His videos are great. He appreciates nature. He loves the beach like me. He loves going walking. I can relate to Gino a lot. So my shout out to Gino. Ray in the Philippines says, coffee with Michael JD with me. That sounds like a plan. Ray says, hey Gino, what up? David says, Ray, make sure that Lynn is okay flying in a helicopter. Man, I'm jealous. You know what? I've never been in a helicopter. Maybe someday. That would be fun. You know, hey, David, there might be an opportunity for you to visit all the islands. Because, you know, when you get older, like people say, yeah, there's over 7,000 islands in the Philippines to visit. And I was like, well, I would never be able to visit all those in my lifetime. But if you could go island hopping, you could probably do it. Just a thought. Gino says, hey, Ray. Det Valone says, even in the summertime, Filipinos drink coffee. Yep, I drink hot coffee a lot here. My double espresso lattes, people say, you don't want iced coffee, sir? And I bring it outside, and people can't believe that I'm bringing coffee outside. Actually, I think the hot coffee cools me off more than an iced coffee. I've always heard that drinking stuff too cold can be, especially if you're really hot, can be more of a shock to your system. At least that's what they say. I mean, I drink both, but I feel perfect. It's not like I'm out in the heat with my first hot coffee, and it doesn't bother me. Ray says, I just told her she's okay with anything I tell her to be okay with. That's a good Filipina. But like I always say to you, Ray, she just cares about you. That's what you want. Sorry, I'm blowing on the phone. That's what you want. You want a Filipina that cares about you. And I've never been made a priority like Che makes me a priority by anybody in my life. Never. Yes, dipping Pandasol in the coffee. Amen to that. Yep. Yeah, like I said, I did like a little, well, it was from a video we were making in her province. Now, it wasn't the actual, it was the Philippine coffee, the packets of stuff that they dump in water. That's not like, to me, like true coffee. That's like cheap alternative coffee. I've drank it, obviously. That's all they had up there. It's not like there's any coffee shop in the middle of a province. So if I was going to live in a province, I definitely need some sort of gourmet espresso barista coffee type of machine at my house. That would definitely be a given. I would need something like that. David says, yes, Ray, I know, JD, with you. I know that Mike doesn't drink. Yes, everybody knows, I think for the most part, that Mike doesn't drink. But you still like me and you still accept me, so I respect that. I've actually had people in my life that were judgmental of me because I didn't drink. But what little did they know that I'm a lot of fun. I'm not saying people that drink aren't fun without drinking, but I'm a lot of fun, and I don't even like, you know, I don't need anything to drink. I guess coffee's my crutch. I mean, the caffeine does give me a boost, I must admit. Bill says, amen. Oh, Mr. Plumtree and family. Good morning, Mr. Plumtree family. Welcome. They're from, remember correctly, from Africa, right? Hello, everyone, they say, but I'm almost positive they're from Africa, and I'm very thankful they're in the channel. Always like and subscribe if you're not a subscriber, but can't thank anybody enough. I'm very happy with this live stream. It's enough for me to control. See, there she said, Africa. Ray says, okay, guys, bakers are across the street having some Red Horse. Going to go join them and make Frankie's birthday a good time. Hey, have a good one, Ray. Be safe. As always, enjoy your birthday dinner, and we'll catch up again, my man. Thank you for being here. Mr. Plumtree and family, watching from Johannesburg, South Africa. Thank you for being here. Always appreciate it. And if you guys aren't a subscriber of Mr. Plumtree and family, they have their channel as well. You can subscribe to them. Good people joining the Philippines the whole way from Africa. I can't honestly say I have a lot of subscribers from Africa, but I think it's awesome. Eli says hi. Ray says later, y'all. Debt Alone says, take me with you, Ray. Yeah, really, I know. Take us with you. I want to fly in a helicopter. I'm just kidding. Maybe someday. Ray Moore says, I'll live stream playing on those phones. The Archer says, there wasn't a suite for rent in that building behind you a while back, about $1,000 a month. This place here, yeah, I was only ever told about those apartments over the coffee shop, Bo's Coffee. I was told about them a while ago, and I was told they're very nice. Again, you know more than me about it then. I wouldn't doubt they're $1,000 a month maybe, because I think they're pretty big, like really big. Bill says helicopter are awesome. Yeah, I've never rode in a helicopter. That would be fun. Especially if you're doing island hopping, I think that would be really cool. Great way to get around. Mr. Plumtree and family said that's a waving emoji. Let me give you a Mr. Plumtree. This is my view. I'm just on the boulevard here in the Philippines. Everybody's out and about. Beautiful day. I'm just sitting under the shade because if I sit out there on the brick, my butt will be on fire. Bill says, I've subscribed to everyone in the chat. Thank you, Bill. You're awesome. David says, Bill, my brother from the Army flying helicopters in Manila. That is why I get to fly. That's awesome. I mean, I'd love to see some video footage of that flying in the helicopter. I think that would be fun. Like, you know, seeing some of your experiences, video footage in a helicopter. That would be really cool. Did you see that view there, Gino? Let me give a little better one. I'll get up off my butt. I'm a stranger to sitting, so, but see this whole part of this boulevard walkway? It used to be like half that size, and it was like falling apart. They ripped the whole thing out, extended it out wider here, so it goes the whole way. This is where I walk all the time. And in the city, like I go other places too. There's the new Dumaguete sign. That's the port over there. You can get the fast boat right there, and it takes you right over there, Siquijor. But yeah, it goes the whole way down where like you see all the palm trees and stuff like that. That's where they have all the karaoke, like after 6 o'clock. Random people show up with their karaoke machines and sing, and vendors show up with food. And that's where I love to walk. You know, you kind of have a path to take all around through here, all up and down. It's nice here, Gino. Like I said, some people don't like Dumaguete, and that's all right. I don't have a problem with it. It's what matters to you the most. Am I going to stay in Dumaguete forever? I don't know. Just between here and Bacolod, I prefer Dumaguete. Let me go back here. Gino, nice view. Bill says, I have been in 2 different types of helicopters. One only holds 2 people, the other holds 6 people. At least you've been in a helicopter. That's awesome, Bill. I've never had the pleasure of being in a helicopter. Maybe someday, but I always thought it would be interesting, something different to try. Gino says, a lot nicer than in 2022 last time Dazzle and I were there. Okay, yeah, they really put some money into the boulevard, called like a boulevard, brick boulevard, boardwalk. Um, Even like I've noticed, like I said, since I've been in Bacolod and come back here 4 months later, I've noticed a lot of changes here in Dumaguete, positive changes. Um, Typically, since I've been in the Philippines, one of the first things I notice when I go to certain areas is a lot of trash or not much trash cleanup. Dumaguete's changing. Like I don't see as much. I see more trash cans and less trash. And typically, it's in the cities is where you can see an abundance of trash. Somebody's cleaning something up because I noticed that's better. And also thinking it's not like it didn't bother me. I noticed less street dogs here, which is weird. Like I even said to Che, I said, is it me or do you notice there's not as many street dogs around? I don't know where they're at. I haven't seen any strolling around, I don't even think, since I've been sitting here. And usually there are. And usually the more dogs you see running around, the more poop obstacles you have to miss and pay attention when you're walking, especially when it gets dark or you'll step in poop. I'm so lucky, and I don't want to jinx myself, but since I've been in the Philippines, I have yet to step into a pile of dog doo-doo. I've been lucky, but I hope that doesn't change. La la la. Bill says, hi, Gino. David says, we will see if Ray can do a live on the way to Masbate. Yeah, that'd be cool if you could do it. And the helicopter. That would be really awesome. I'd watch that. Gino says, hello, Bill. Ben says, wow, that boardwalk looks a lot nicer. Now imagine if they invested in traffic lights. You know what, though, Ben? And the whole traffic light thing, I used to be a big proponent of thinking they needed that here. But when I was in Bacolod, although I didn't drive, it seemed like having street lights was okay. Obviously in a bigger city, I think they benefit more from it. I think that would be a big change. And I've talked to local Filipinos here asking them, how would you feel about street lights? And it's not like they would not be in favor of it, or I guess if they put them in, they wouldn't have a choice. But they just think that would be a huge change for them to adapt to. Here in the Philippines, in Dumaguete, because I walk a lot, for me and my experiences as well as Che, they're very good about yielding for pedestrians. They anticipate if you're going to walk. But when I was in Bacolod, I felt like I was going to get ran over a lot. They didn't yield for pedestrians. They almost like didn't care. You had your few that did, but not like here. And then when I come back, it's back to the same thing. I'm here at the boulevard. I never have anybody stuck up, nice car, this or that, trying to hit me. They all slow down. Even if I'm not going across, they think I'm going to, and they already slow up. So I haven't had any bad experiences when it comes to that. So I get when they say it might be hard for them to adapt to something because what they do here just works. You know, merging and stuff like that. And when I'm coming from Bacolod, they need lights. They need street lights there. Here, it's definitely different. There's not as many people. It's like a town. But that's just my simple opinion. Brax Fistaya. Thanks for being here, Brax. Can't say I'm familiar with you, but hey, welcome, my friend. You said they eat them seriously. Oh, the dogs. Yeah, I've heard. Even my girlfriend said that she knows people, I don't know where they were, if it was a province or in the city, but they did eat dog. I don't know if they knowingly ate it or unknowingly, but I asked Che, my girlfriend, I said, did you ever eat a dog? And she said no. So I said, well, that's good. And I said, so if you knowingly knew someone was cooking dog, I said, you wouldn't eat it. She said, no, she wouldn't. But no, you're right, Brax. Fistaya, I know you're being, it's true. I mean, but I guess if you're that hungry and you don't have any other options, what are you gonna do? I'm not saying I would be interested in eating a dog, but you never know what you would do when you're in a situation where you're really hungry. Unless they can get chicken and other types of meat and fish, and they just prefer to eat dog. I don't know. To each his own, I guess. Like, I'm not interested. Give me beef, chicken, fish, and I'm happy. Det Valone says, what's your favorite Filipino dish? Mine is chicken adobo. Che spoils me and makes me boneless chicken adobo. I'm very spoiled. Because the bone chicken adobo, it's just a lot more bone and less meat. They kind of do that with a lot of their food here. It's more bone than there is meat. Some bone just has fat. It's because the meat's expensive. But yeah, like Che spoils me. But I'll eat chicken adobo somewhere else if it's bone. But the adobo and the soup, and I always forget the darn name of it. It's the soup that there's the broth, and there's like bone broth in it, like bone that they boil, and then there's cabbage in it and other stuff. I do like the soup. I love lumpia. I love pork sisig. I like a lot of Philippine food. There's a lot of foreigners that come here that they don't like Philippine food, and that's all right. I'd be fine if if my only option was Philippine food. I'd be fine eating it. I like it. Dave Trout said, Mr. Simple is acting cute today. I don't act ever. If I'm cute, it's just because you say I'm cute, genuine cute. But thank you for being here, Dave Traveled, or AKA Mr. Dave. He's got his cute mugshot on here. He doesn't have his trolling mugshot on his other channel. But welcome, Dave. Filipino Moments podcast. Why did you leave Bacolod? The reason I left Bacolod, hey, nice seeing you guys again. It's been a while. I left Bacolod because I thought it was boring. I'll be flat out honest with you. I thought Bacolod was boring. I didn't have a vibe there. I like seeing the ocean, guys. There's nothing like a boulevard there. I do a lot of walking. Bacolod is such a bigger city. Not that the people aren't nice in Bacolod, they're just very different. Here in Dumaguete, they're more welcoming, more friendly, always eager to say hello to you, eager to get to know you, eager to be your friend. Bacolod, some were my friends in coffee shops and stuff, but I didn't really do anything outside of them. I probably had one good friend in Bacolod. Che and I both did. There was a girl named Jenilyn, and she worked in a private coffee shop called Cafe. It was like cafe, but Cafe Maria. We loved going there, super nice. We actually, if we'd still be there, we'd probably go on. She was a nature girl. She like hikes waterfalls and stuff. But whenever you want to go somewhere, you have to go so far to get there. Here, if I want to go to Siquijor, I hop on a boat 40 minutes and I'm at Siquijor. You can go to Cebu, you can go to Bohol. And I just felt more comfortable simply in Dumaguete. And another factor was Che's grandma is so far away from her family from Bacolod. She's only within 3.5 hours here in Dumaguete. She was over 6 hours away from him in Bacolod. Grandmother's older, having health issues. Mother was having some health issues. So that factored into it as well. But she didn't feel comfortable in Bacolod either. Again, it's just different. It's a different vibe. Now, I can only compare Dumaguete and Bacolod, but I like Dumaguete much better, simply put. I'm so happy to be back. I feel energized. I like going and eating breakfast at Why Not, sitting outside and having this view while I'm drinking my coffee. I want to see the ocean. I'm in the Philippines. You're in Bacolod, all you see is skyscrapers and buildings and city. That's too much of a city. Here, Dumaguete is like a town to me. And you only do a little walking, you got the ocean. You can walk to the ocean in Bacolod, but it's all port. There's no boulevard, there's nowhere, nothing to see. And yeah, they got malls and they have all these amenities. But what do I need in a mall? I've become so unmaterialistic living here in the Philippines. I don't need anything in a mall. And I don't go out to eat a lot. We're eating out a lot now is because we're still in a hotel waiting for this apartment to be ready. But I like to cook at home. And even anything I really want, which would be pizza and a burger, it's different than Philippine food, I can get that here in Dumaguete. The hardest part about leaving Bacolod was leaving Gary and Leah and the kids. That was the hardest part. But sometimes you just got to make your own path and make your own way and do what makes you happy. And that's what Gary and Leah are doing. I respect that. They should do what makes them happy. But I miss them. Gino says, Bulalu soup. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but yeah, you're right. That soup's awesome. Bill says, $7.67 a pound for hamburger here. Turkey is now $12 a pound. They blame the bird flu. Yeah, somebody's causing problems to cause problems with the food. I don't think it's by an accident, but that's my opinion. I won't get into it anymore. But yeah, like if I need something, I can go to Belchris. Again, we're not cooking because we're in a hotel. We're getting our breakfast buffet every morning, which is nice. And then I typically don't even eat. I only eat like twice a day. We'll get our normal places, Melting Pot, Astoria, or Moon Cafe. Sometimes we go to here in the Philippines, but we have our couple places and that's good enough. But anyway, guys, I think everybody's starting to get quiet and they're probably tired of listening to something simple. But I appreciate you guys being here so much. I'm going to try and do more live streams more often because I enjoy it and it gives me an opportunity to talk. I miss most about the USA is particular foods, the quality of the food. I miss conversation, and live streaming gives me an opportunity to make up for conversation that maybe I miss in the United States. So my next goal is to get Starlink. I want to be able to bring you guys everywhere, so I'm not pacing around and sitting in one place. I want to be able to walk and not lose a signal. And again, guys, as always, thank you, new subscribers, Bill, Dave, Gino, that even the new guy, Brax Fastaya, David, Bill, anybody, Ray, Art Chairs, Mr. Plumtree and family. I miss Chief. I wish Chief would have been here. He would have made it awesome. Simon was already here. Eli, all you guys. Dakota. And if I forget anybody's name, I'm sorry. Bill, Louis, Philip. I'm strolling through all the comments so I can remember all the names, because I feel like you guys deserve to have your name. JP, Jap, of course, happy birthday again.